Hey kids, this is Uncle Barry Dudgy. I am here in my bedroom in good old Wooddale, Illinois. This is the first of the series of videos that I have decided to make so I can talk to all of you directly instead of these long postings that everybody reads. We'll talk about whatever you want to talk about, except Donald Trump, Joe Biden. I don't want to talk about the president. I don't want to talk about Trump. I don't want to talk about none of that. It's bullshit anyway. I don't want to talk about it. Some of you idiots vote the way you want to vote. Hey, vote us all into hell. I don't care. Listen, a couple things I wanted to discuss. That Nakamichi Dragon story. I got a couple of interesting little tidbits about that thing. That thing became an obsession of mine about 1983, the year after it came out. When I was a kid growing up in high school, I had a subscription to about 12 magazines. And one of those magazines was Stereo Review, and the other one was High Fidelity Magazine. And they took out a full page ad talking about this Nakamichi Dragon. It was a behemoth beast. It weighed like 60 pounds. This son of a bitch had every bell and whistle you could have ever thought of on a cassette deck. It had the drawer that came out if you wanted to flip the tape over because it had unidirectional auto reverse. The tray pulled out, the tape swung around in a 180-degree angle and went back into the machine. It was groundbreaking for its time. As I mentioned in one of my postings, Nile Rodgers, Giorgio Moroder, I think Eddie Van Halen had them, and Quincy Jones had all of them. They did a segment on Entertainment Tonight, and they had all of them on there talking about the Nakamichi Dragon. As a kid, I was just turned 18 years old, and I had it in my 18-year-old brain. No matter what I had to do, I had to have one of those because I wanted to be the envy of everybody. So I went to my mother and I said, "Hey, my grades are real good, and blah, blah, blah. I'm a newspaper staff, and I'm doing this, I'm doing that. Can I please?" She was going to buy me a used car. I said, take that 2 grand and take me down to the stereo place and buy me this Nakamichi Dragon. She said, "Boy, Negro, what do you need that for?" I just want it. What do you want that for? You were getting ready to go away to college. That is not something a child, a college freshman, has in their dorm room. You are sending a signal to everyone: rob me, break into my dorm room, and steal everything I have. Oh, her and my former stepfather, they had this way of reverse child psychology. So they take me, we get in the car, we drive an hour north of, we go north of Chicago to this little, very upscale audio video store in Winnetka. I forget the name of the place. Snobbery. I mean, they had champagne that they were serving and caviar when you walked in the store. It was that fancy. So, without anything else being said, the Nakamichi Dragon was in this rack of all of this other equipment, and that was in its glory. My mother, my former stepfather, he started playing with the thing. He was in love with it. And he walked away. He just started laughing. He says, "I'll be in the car." I'm like, "Oh, Lord." And she looked at me and she said, "You see David's reaction. This is not happening. He wouldn't even buy that for himself. You think he's going to buy it for you? Or help you get it?" It happened. She says, "Young man, I want you to understand something. You have more expensive crap than some of your rich white friends from Andrea in high school. Be very grateful for what you have. You know, the funny thing is, in conclusion to this little story, and something very funny happened just recently. Mom passed away in 2019, and it messed me up in the head for a long time. I've finally come to accept her, leaving us. She's always going to be in my heart. And these funny stories are beautiful memories that I always have. So anyway, without getting too far off the subject, I did not get the Nakamichi Dragon. And many years it passed on, and I kind of got over it. Just recently, a few weeks ago, guess where I was? At a pawn shop in Oak Grove Village, just down the road. I was with my roommate. I said, Sterling, I want to stop at this store. At the pawn shop? Yeah, the pawn shop. Would you want it there? Don't worry about what I want. I want to look around. I like going to stuff like that.